you started looking like a year before, which I think is smart. Like give yourself a long runway to potentially see as many opportunities, get better at interviewing again, get into that mindset, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And so tell me how that all went. Was it like mostly just informal info chats? I know in London, the networking is a little bit different and like the formal channels of recruiting are a little more strict in terms of having to follow those. Tell me a little bit about kind of that whole process for you and how it worked.
Yeah, so I guess one of the best, I mean, the primary way was just basically reaching out to recruiters. So I spoke to quite a few recruiters over that time. Some of them were good, some of them weren't so good. But I mean, one thing I kind of would do want to mention is that recruiters, in my experience, aren't always out in your best interest. And there's been, I luckily had, people who sort of knew what I wanted to do and were supportive, and I sort of took enough time in advance to be able to prepare. But all of the time, sometimes they try and sell stuff to you, like, this is a great role, and I placed someone here last year who's now moved into front office. This is like, it's a good stepping stone, and you're like, well, I don't think so. So I did that.
How do you kind of know the difference? Because a lot of younger kids may fall for that. How do you just don't take anything a recruiter says, take it with a large grain of salt? Is that just the message here? Because they're just trying to get the placement and move on, right?
Yeah, they do. And I think it's even more so if you're trying to, I guess, move front office or move up, because they see your profile. They know that they can place other people, that maybe are better fitted for the role. So there isn't much incentive for them to actually
pass you.
And, so I guess that system, I think I think recruiters actually, and I've met quite a few really, really helpful, useful ones and really nice ones. So, nothing against recruiters, but I think using resources and looking online and even like WSO, to be honest, just talking about like, hey, I'd like to move into this area. What do you guys think? And I think being able to use sort of different sources of reference, and knowing that beforehand is really helpful.